Life Audio.
Hello. Thank you for listening to the Crosswalk Devotional, the podcast that examines one verse each day to learn more about God and His will for our lives. I'm your host, Kyle Norman. After a brief message from one of our sponsors, we will continue with our Journeying to the Cross series with a discussion of today's verse.
Grand Canyon University, a private Christian university in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, believes that we're endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. GCU believes in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. GCU equips you to serve others in ways that promote human flourishing and create a ripple effect of transformation for generations to come. By honoring your career calling, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. Change the world for good by putting others before yourself to glorify God. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. With over 340 academic programs as of September 2024, GCU meets you where you are and provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Let it flourish. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
Have you ever wondered what Christ's journey to the cross says about our spiritual life? Have you ever questioned what his prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane might teach us about our sometimes difficulty to pray? Well, you can explore these themes in the book, Alive, Loved, and Free, Finding Jesus When Faith is Hard, available on Amazon.com. Today's verse is found in John chapter 12, verse 47. Jesus said, "As for the person who hears my words but does not keep them, I do not judge them, for I came not to judge the world, but to save it." I had a friend who grew up under an authoritarian aunt. His aunt was extreme in many ways, bold but overbearing. She was also highly religious, of the self-righteous variety. She loved to point out the sins and the mistakes of others. And so whenever my friend would step out of line, make some mistake, or do something unapproved by this hyper-religious aunt, she would shake her finger at him and say, "Jesus will get you for that." Subsequently, my friend grew up believing that Jesus was this sad-faced, angry enforcer, one who delighted in catching sinners and doling out retribution. Many people believe this about Jesus. Jesus seems to be the cosmic cop, one who is concerned with the perfect execution of religiosity. I once had a street preacher tell me that I would not go to heaven because I listened to secular music. Apparently, in his mind, Jesus would cast out into the eternal darkness anybody who did not perfectly execute the spiritual life. So, throw in a U2 CD and, well, Jesus will get you for that. Is this who Jesus is? Is Jesus hyper-focused on all the ways that we might walk out of step with his Spirit? Does Jesus keep a record of all of our wrongs, tallying up whether we are worth his love or grace? Does Jesus look upon us with some dour face of judgment or scorn? If this is what you are tempted to believe about Jesus, then take a moment and just listen to his own words. I did not come to judge this world, but to save it. Now, this might seem like splitting hairs, but the difference between judgment and salvation, it's monumental, and it speaks to the loving attitude that Jesus has towards us. See, when we judge something, we look for the mistakes, the errors, the infractions. It's like marking an exam. We highlight all the wrong answers. So when we judge something or someone, we take a keen eye towards all that is wrong, dislikable, or disapproving. Now, we might try to twist this into something positive as a means of growth, we might say. We might say that judgment, therefore, can be positive or life-giving. But let's be honest, no one really enjoys being judged, do they? No, but judgment brings in a sense of dismissal, correction, or rejection. So when Jesus says, I did not come to judge the world, what he is saying is that his attitude towards the world and towards us wasn't based on condemnation or rejection. Jesus didn't come simply to sweep everything away in divine retribution. He didn't come to highlight all that was wrong in the world or in us, and thereby give us some sort of failing spiritual grade. No, Jesus came to save. Whereas judgment is inherently negative and condemning, salvation is rooted in love. Jesus came to hold open a way of eternal life, one that is defined not by the perfect execution of rules, but by the reception of unfathomable grace. When Jesus says that he came to save the world, he is saying that he looks at the world in a way that he longs to redeem it, not destroy it. Jesus' heart bursts open towards the ones who are made in his image, and he longs to receive them into his kingdom. That's his attitude towards us. Friends, this is his attitude towards you. Now, if we were going to look further into this passage, Jesus is honest that we can step outside of his loving will, and we can choose to reject his offer of life and grace. And yes, when we do that, Jesus is honest that we come under a judgment. But it's not because Jesus now frowns at us. It's not because we exist under his ire and wrath. Jesus simply means that now we bear the weight of our own sin. We bear our own burdens and the self-condemnation that we have chosen. So we are judged not by him, because he is always graceful. No, we're judged by our own choices and our own decisions. This is why the season of Lent is important for us, because we get to look at our lives and see how we live before the Lord. Is there a place where we would like to experience more of his loving grace? Is there a place where we might need his saving presence? Now, we make these reflections not out of fear that if we don't, well, Jesus is going to get us, hurl some lightning bolt of judgment upon us. No, we make these reflections and assessments because we know that he is there for us, holding out the way of salvation. He comes to give us abundant life. He comes to give us the peace that this world cannot give. He comes to give us the love that knows no end. And so if in our reflections we find ourselves bearing a weight of self-judgment, the good news is that we can turn to Jesus. We can always turn back to him. We can always be released of our burdens, because he comes not to judge, but to save.
Hello, I'm Adam Comer.
And I'm Ryan Chittister.
And we are the host of Life After Addiction podcast. What we believe is that addiction is not a surprise to God.
That's right. We discuss addiction from a biblical worldview and how true freedom comes through a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Absolute freedom from addiction. The secular worldview of once an addict, always an addict is just not true. If you or someone you loved struggles with addiction, subscribe to Life After Addiction at lifeaudio.com.